Today's video, Leo and Boris. What a pair. Hi, welcome to Dad's channel. Thanks for popping by. I hope you're keeping well. In today's video, we're going to look at, well, one person that's really annoying me at the moment and one that's potentially going to annoy me, or not him in particular, but his constituents. That gives you a bit of a clue. So, without further ado, what we need to do is take a look at these two people. Clowns, the pair of them. You know what pisses me off? Do-gooders and idiots. So we're going to start with the do-gooder and then we'll move on to the idiots. Well, the potential idiots. Now, let's start with Sadiq Khan. He's not actually the person who is annoying me. I'll get to him in a moment. Sadiq Khan, I'm not his biggest fan. I don't even live in London. And if I did, well, if other people want to vote for him in London as their mayor, that's entirely up to them. But what annoys me about people like Sadiq Khan and the government in general, I suppose, they just want to keep taking more and more money from people who have less and less. That annoys me. How about you? You annoyed by that, yeah? Let's talk about ULEZ. ULEZ? ULEZ, one les, I don't know. ULEZ. Ultra low emission zone. Currently works in central London thanks to Boris Johnson back in 2015. Sadiq Khan is going to expand this across all London boroughs in August 2023. So everyone will now have to chip in if their car doesn't meet the emission. £12.50 is the amount that people will have to pay every day if they're running their car in London and they're not meeting those low emissions that the zones require. We're already pretty aware that food, fuel and energy are all increasing quite a lot actually, with inflation still running at around 10% on average, but food inflation especially running somewhere around 12 to 14%. So this extra money that people are going to have to find for ULEZ. But if we're to start tackling this climate change, this climate challenge, we've actually got to start making some decisions, I suppose. And maybe this is one of the decisions. But how fair is it on these people who may not be able to actually afford it? If it was up to me, I personally would have banned all cars from city centres, not just London, but all the big cities across the UK, just as a starting point. Yeah, at some point we've got to make some kind of decisions on this. Will it be when we actually reach the 5-degree point instead of this supposed 1.5 degrees that we're supposed to be sticking to? It's already 1.15 and the experts tell us that with the commitments that are on the table at the moment, 2.5 is the minimum that it will be. So I don't think these decisions really will be made till it reaches nearer 5. Anyway, I suppose we'll see. There's always hope, I suppose, but Bob's dead and the other's out of town. Now, whilst everyday people are trying to get to grips with this extra cost that they're going to get from next year if they remain living in London and insist on driving their cars, in wades the voice of experience, the voice of know all, know nothing, Leonardo DiCaprio. I love these millionaires. They just swan around and they think they can just tell everybody else what to do. Usually whilst they're doing something else, actually. While leaders are bad enough with their COP meetings and plans and poor outcomes and little meaning management plans, then walks all these rich people, usually do-gooder, lefty, greeny wokes. And this isn't the first time that Leo has backed Sadiq Khan. And here's a good quote. "This is the kind of large-scale decision action we need to halve emissions this decade." And this one made me laugh. Clean air is a human right. Yes, it is, Leo. You're right. It is. Okay, well, let's take a look at Leo then. This will be the bloke who flew a private jet 8,000 miles to accept an ecological activism award. And he's a UN environmental ambassador. Okay, laugh when you're ready. Marvellous. Together with that silly teenage girl from Norway or Scandinavia, wherever she was from, and sailing her fiberglass yacht across the Atlantic. Fiberglass that not actually recyclable, of course. Meantime, the guy who was going to sail the boat back flew in an aeroplane. How ridiculous. Just makes it all untenable. Who put these people on a pedestal to act as spokesmen, spokespeople for the world, for me? You're not my spokesperson. Which idiots turn around and listen and pamper to them? Stop it. But stop a minute. No, Leo decided to dump his private jet. Well, I mean, he was criticised to hell and back for that 8,000-mile journey whilst being that UN ambassador for ecological stuff. So there you go, he's now going to fly commercial. But apparently Leo likes to be on a yacht. He spent a lot of time on some billionaire's yacht, but how do these yachts operate? Well, you know, if you're an A-lister or a billionaire, you don't get on your yacht, say, in a port in America, and sail it all the way across the Atlantic to spend some time in a nice European country, more just off land, enjoying your private yacht with your helipad. No, what happens is the crew sail it all the way across the Atlantic, whilst when you're ready, you jump on an aeroplane and fly across the Atlantic to join the yacht. $75 million. That's supposed to be the amount that Leo has put forward from his own fortune towards conservation and environmental issues. Is that just to ease his conscience? DiCaprio attended COP25 and indeed COP26, which was held in Glasgow. Now I'm sure, as it was held in Scotland, that he didn't walk, so he must have flown. And then when he flew back to America, he decided he would take a plane in one day from Miami to New York in support of another cause run by Sean Penn called the Community Organised Relief Effort. And whilst we're out talking about COP26, which was held at Glasgow, there were so many planes and private planes landing at the airport that what they actually had to do was move a lot of them. So they flew them about 30 miles to a nearby airport. All those planes flying another 30 miles empty. As we've just said, Leo offsetting or greenwashing to you is total rubbish, of course. Look, Leo plants trees. Well, he doesn't himself. He just says, here's some money, go and plant some trees. Now, if this was the easy way out, wouldn't everybody just say, let's plant trees? Wouldn't we? There wouldn't be a problem. It's just utter rubbish. It's a ridiculous belief that you can buy your way out of using carbon, and you can't. It's greenwashing. What do people not understand? This is total rubbish. You can't just plant a tree and say, okay, I'm all right now, Jack. Pull up the ladder. We're all still in trouble. The temperature's still rising. The scientists have got the information there. It's freely available out there on the internet. Temperatures are still rising. Planting trees, sunny, isn't working. Grow up, grow a big pair, you idiot. So it seems what you can do what you like when you're rich, can't you? Just get on that plane. Oh, well, I'm only flying. I'm not flying a private plane now. I'll just go and fly everywhere on a commercial airline. And let's face it, they're not going to go in cattle wagon class. They're still going in first class. So there's only about 10 people. Oh, anyway. Right, so who's likely to annoy me in 2024? Let's look at that group of people that I was talking about earlier. Let's just rewind slightly because Boris has become involved in the whole Sadiq Khan increase in the ULEZ area. Now Boris, obviously as a Conservative MP, has stated that he doesn't believe that Sadiq Khan is doing the right thing, increasing the area, and it was only ever really designed for central London. Johnson, of course, was the guy who introduced the initial low emission zone in central London back in 2015 when he was the London mayor. Khan said that if his possible expansion idea was unpopular, he wouldn't do it. But then he also said, I didn't call a referendum, this was a consultation. So if you ask a drug user, is it okay to take drugs? I just wonder what they'll say. So, Khan is also introducing a scrappage scheme. Actually, that's possibly a good idea. The idea being that if your vehicle is over that emissions line and you're being asked to pay that £12.50 a day, you'll scrap your car, they'll give you some money. They may even give you some money and maybe a bus or tram pass as well to use. And you'll upgrade your vehicle to a lower emission vehicle. But don't worry, if you go ahead and buy an electric car, which is going to be kind of more encouraged the closer we get to 2030 when the petrol and diesel cars no longer will be made, don't worry, he's got an idea that he's going to put some tolls on the road, so you'll still be charged. You'll be relieved of your £12.50 but he'll get the money back another way. So just quickly back to Boris then. So how's he in it? Well, I mean, he's probably just about annoyed everybody in the whole country with his antics towards the end of his premiership. It was ridiculous. But at the same time as criticising Khan, he stated that he is going to run as an MP again for Ruislip in 2024, where the general election will be then. I'm guessing the Tories won't go for it before then, as they're pretty unpopular at the moment. The annoyance, the crowd, the electorate, will they simply vote for Boris again? Is there no understanding of what this guy has been up to and doing and how he's treated people in general? Will they just simply go like lambs to the slaughter and just tick that box? The electorate. I mean, you just keep doing the same thing and you expect different results. That doesn't happen, does it? Okay, well, I think that's quite an alarming thought, really, the general election, and I'll be watching that result in Ruislip to see if Boris gets re-elected. And I'm going to say now, I will not be surprised if he is. So well done, electorate. Cracking. Right, thanks for watching. I hope you found that interesting and amusing, because I certainly do, the way these rich people and these politicians meander around, ruining our lives. Yeah, please remember to like the video if you liked it, comment below whatever, and consider subscribing to the channel. Check out the rest of the content. It's some of it's amusing like this, and some of it's a bit more serious, and some of it's quite light-hearted. So that'd be great if you check that out. In the meantime, look after yourselves. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.